What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unfinished Business. I'm Tyler, joined by Taylor, Corey, and Matt. And guys,
Paint me like your French girls.
and Corey is just enjoying himself tonight. We're gonna enjoy this episode more than ever. So one thing I do want to say is that this is episode 10, you guys. Like, we made it. It's like a milestone, like 10 episodes.
Commitment.
Corey, what do you think?
Crazy.
I love it.
All right. Well, I love you, so that's great. So, all right, guys. Anything going on exciting in your world of disc golf? What about you, Corey?
Finally got my hands on one of these.
Ooh,
Squall.
Nice.
Yep, so I can compare it to the Zombie. I have sentimental attachment to the Zombie, but this is the same disc. So I might wipe the stamp and just write Zombie on it. And then these are the only two that I brought. Well, three that I brought back to Tennessee because I'm still working. The other one being the 2022 putter of the year.
Yeah. Had to.
This is actually the first one they sent me ever when they first came out.
Sentimental?
No. just the first one.
Just a note.
Yeah.
You always remember your first.
Yeah.
Taylor, what about you?
Yeah, so yesterday I played disc golf and it was 68 and sunny, and I wore a t-shirt and it was fantastic. And today it's 33 and raining, so I'm not playing disc golf today. But no, I played a few rounds this weekend. We were supposed to have a tournament. We were just talking this weekend coming up this Saturday that I'm debating on whether I'm going to play in, mainly because the course is currently still closed from some inclement weather that we've had. So I'm kind of just waiting to see if it happens, and then I'll decide if I want to play. But that would be my first tournament in 5 years. So that's kind of scary.
Let's go. How you feeling?
Inclement weather or a freaking tornado?
Tomato. They're roughly the same thing. Just a varying degree of how inclement the weather was.
Oh, okay, cool.
Taylor, just curious, if there's one part of your game to go really south really quickly during a tournament, what is part of your game?
So if I try to throw a forehand and I'm juiced up and I'm trying to throw it too hard, I roll my wrist instantly, and it's not even I put that on a lot of Anheuser. It flutters to the ground and rolls and cut rolls. So it's kind of just an instant round breaker of a shot. So yeah. That's where it could all go wrong for me. Some people might say just don't throw a forehand, and I tell them you've never heard of perseverance.
That's right.
I will keep trying.
That's when the card mates go, "Hey, were you trying to play a forehand roller?" Be like, yeah.
Yeah, it just came out weird, just slipped.
Exactly. Matt, what about you? Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, you're.
I was gonna say Matt and I are almost in the same boat, but go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I've been doing nothing. I want to play disc golf so bad. I've gotten in a ton of stuff that I need to test. It's 8 degrees and a foot of snow on the ground, and it's a GG's. I think I'm planning to play a tournament 2 weekends from now on a golf course an hour and a half away, and it looks like by then it'll be 50 degrees again because it's going crazy up here. But yeah, a guy can just hope and dream. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. We got 4 inches over here on the East Coast, and there's no. I see people on Instagram going out and throwing in the snow. I'm just not about it, dude. I've got a busted right knee, anyways. I ain't about trying to slip, twist something. I'm just too old to be trying to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's nothing going on there. We're gonna get more snow on Friday apparently too. So I don't think I'm getting out to play disc golf for over a week, but. The long-awaited rock video was released. Yes. Matt, what was your thoughts about the video?
I was right. That's all I can say.
You think you were right?
There. I think a little bit. Come on now.
Well, explain it to the people, all right? Because I said I hate the rock, and so what happened?
Well, you threw the rock a couple times, okay? And you made some comments generally back and forth. But at the end of the day, I felt that your opinion on the rock was heavily improved.
Pretty positive opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So my assessment was if you're a beginner and you need something that's consistent, buy the rock. Because it's torque resistant on the fact that if you throw in a little bit of Anheuser and you miss that yank, it likes to come out of it. It's a very safe disc. I still don't like it. I didn't say this in the video, I think, because it was just I filmed it such a long time ago. I really didn't know what to say. it's deep in my hand. And I feel like if you're going to control a mid-range, it's got to be more shallow, and it's just too deep for me. So that's my biggest complaint with it. I actually enjoyed, as I said in the video, I enjoyed testing it, but I tried playing with it, and I didn't like it. It wasn't my game.
It's a delicate spot in stability, you know? Like, so for crazy power throwers, it's just a dead straight mid-range that is crazy torque resistant. And for like other levels of players, it's just a touchy spot in stability. What do you throw for your overstable mid-ranges then, Tyler?
So my mid-range lineup is understable, straight, and then straight to slight finish. So I don't throw a really overstable. If I want to throw something that really like hooks, it's going to be either an A2 or it's going to be my Andrew Marweed Avalanche.
So you more like disc down on an approach, or just kind of like soft throw a Firebird, or like one of those kind of discs. Yeah,
I just don't find the use for an overstable mid range. Everyone talks about that slot all the time. I don't find a use for it at all. So I used to like bag like a Method or a Mutant or something like that, but I never ever threw it. So I was like, I'm taking this out of the bag. I'm not, because I'm never gonna throw this. So I don't think the Rock is like overstable per se. The one thing I loved about the Rock, I will say this, it carries a very low ceiling really well, which I think is really great for the woods. So if I was playing in the woods more often, I would be more convinced to maybe bag a Rock or more of a 4-speed straight disc, because it can really carry that low ceiling. I did enjoy that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Question.
Yeah.
So overstable mid, 5-speed.
Yes.
Approach disc, 4-speed.
Yep.
Are they more interchangeable than we think?
That's what I'm saying, Corey. Like,
is it just like a mental thing? Like, I can probably take out all my zones and use like the Ultra or like a Buzz
or the
OS
drone. The drone.
Yeah, I used to bag a drone.
Yep.
I feel like I could do that, and it wouldn't be as weird as like not having zones. And I don't know.
No, I 100% agree. That's the reason why I don't bag an overstable mid.
I purposely went out with my Ultra and my zones and threw them and compared them because I was asking the same question. But at the end of it, I came to the conclusion that there was just enough difference that I wanted both. But you definitely could make it happen. But in my head, my Ultra went just a little bit farther. I felt a little more comfortable just, torquing on it. And then like, especially on backhand, I feel like I felt more of a difference just because I don't know. I cannot throw a zone backhand at all. So
for me with my bag, I want to simplify it as much as possible so I don't have so many options. That way I can just like make a decision and move on. So that was one of the things I was like, how can I limit my bag less and less? And overstable mid-range, gone. So we will talk about that slot though with a specific player in a minute. So let's hop right into this. And guys, we have a lot of news to discuss. A lot of moves have happened in the last week. So let's start with what was the most oldest to what happened with today. And today we're recording on Tuesday the 16th. So Chris Clemens signs the Discraft with a 1-year deal. How we feel about this move?
We knew it was coming.
Well, yeah, we knew.
Corey's the one that leaked it. No, I'm kidding.
Corey saw his man.
I didn't leak it, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah. So Corey has already drawn up the most state-of-the-art Venomade logo.
I needed to make it within like 5 minutes. So yes. It is state of the art.
It's pretty great. Maybe we'll release it to you guys so you guys can see it. Maybe, but yeah. I mean, so what do we think he's gonna be? He's known for a lefty forehander. So what's gonna be his main forehander disc? What do we think? Is it gonna be the Venom, or the Force, or something else?
I think it's gonna be the Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Venom makes sense, but I wouldn't discount the Force.
I could see him being like a big like machete guy, or like he's like just give me the most useless overstable thing that you can think of and just works those. Like he was a big like XXX guy, so like I don't know.
The flick.
I think his main distance forehand disc was the Defender, which was a 13 5 yeah 13 5 13 503. So it makes total sense that he would do
that's
the
a
Venom.
That's the Venom numbers.
Yeah.
So.
What happens if he like starts cranking that thing further than AB's forehand?
I don't know,
pretty
but
tough.
He definitely does need that disc, because if I can flip a force, I don't even want to know what kind of torque he's got. So
yeah, I mean,
that's valid.
Clemens can rip it. So Clemens isn't a big name, but I think I consider him a top 15 player. 1 year deal, is that kind of interesting? Why only 1 year? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
I think he's playing the thing where like you say like, okay, sign me, let me prove myself, and then we'll renegotiate. Because I think he knows he's got a lot on the table that he can like cards to flip after the fact.
Yeah,
why get bogged down with more than a year then?
It just seems like he was with DD for so long. He's a little bit maybe later-ish in his career. Maybe I was just thinking he would want more security. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think he's gonna try to play.
I think it's almost at that point it might be more beneficial to him and Discraft. Where I really think it is one of the things like Chris Clemens has always been one of those guys that's like on the bubble, right? Like he's so close to like winning something big, and I think that like. Honestly, a lot has come out about like DD and how they treat players and stuff. I think he's thinking with more support and more stuff behind him, more, well-defined tour that, now more than ever, especially even like I see like Chris Clemens is a guy that goes in and maybe doesn't win like a full pro tour, but like they're not the Silver Series anymore, but like 3 smaller ones, like just little stepping stones to his career that I think, he's betting on having at least a season where he wins something and goes back and said, proved it to you. Let's go bigger with the deal. And I think it also has to do with, we've talked a lot about, the climate of disc golf right now, and, COVID money ain't there anymore. So it's tough for guys on the bubble for sure.
Yeah.
I will say they did the signature series for Discraft, which was like weird discs that aren't often like put out there, and they put their names on them. I would love to see a Chris Clemens signature extreme. I don't know if you've ever thrown one of those, but they are literally like, it's like a 7-speed splice.
Wow.
It is crazy flat. I'll have to show you when I get home.
Can't wait.
Because I have one and they're so fun.
Corey's going to say this every week when I get home. He's never going home ever again.
I'm
never
moving
going
to
to
Tennessee.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Gannon Buhr signs a 4-year deal with Disc Mania. Shocker, right? We all saw this one coming. What's our thoughts on this one?
Bro, everyone who was like, Gannon's going to go and throw the craziest, oldest stuff were 100% correct. The preseason in the bag he did had discs from everyone that looked like they were older than me. And he was just and he was like, I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to go with this, and then I'm going to go with this. And I was like, well, we were right. There's nothing else to add to that. He's just.
I wonder if it's his old discs though that he's had.
No, well, some of them maybe, but like one or two of them were like Eagle specific stuff, or like older stuff, or like I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that one with like the ring around it, and it had like Eagles logo, like the old logo.
Yeah,
I do think like more than anything, Gannon is just a disc fiend and disc collector. Like I'm pretty sure he's been like buying other brands he's buying Prodigy just after he left Prodigy. Like he just wants cool discs. He's just that kind of guy. So I think he fits into that Disc Mania like random run culture. I'm curious to see if he will get any pressure at all from House of Disc Mania, whatever it may be, to throw more current and more like stock kind of stuff. Because
once he gets his name
at this point,
on
it's
him,
not even like the plastic's not even the same. Like it's not, you reference like an S-Line DD3 or whatever, and then like current Disc Mania is like, we ain't got those, bro.
So some notable discs in the bag video that he says he's going to be throwing. This is the most fascinating. Or I'll do all the ones that are yeah, this is what we might expect. But he said some notable ones would be the MD5. He's actually going to have a signature, what was it, signature series or signature signing disc is what it's called, of the MD5. He's going to be throwing the C-Line DD3 as his main thrower. I don't think that's too big of a shocker. Very overstable bomber. But I thought this was super fascinating. He's putting with the P3X, which the flight numbers are 3203. It's an approach disc. And he said he wants to use something that he can zip at the basket and die into the basket. What are the thoughts on the putter there?
Let's just reference it. It is not this one. If you have not seen videos on the P3X, it's actually stable. It's not like a Luna that says it's a 3303. But that's a wild. Lil bro already knows he has an issue with throwing to the basket at 80 miles per hour. And he's like, let me do something that my only option is to throw in the basket at 80 miles per hour. Is that the most cooking move though?
I do think like out of any current pro, I want to say like Gannon has a very unique game where like Gannon throws a lot of like flex shots. Like obviously he putts at 9 million miles an hour at the basket. So I think that kind of does not force him, but I think he thinks about the disc that he's going to throw a little differently. And I'm excited to see how he putts with him because that's I think a move not a lot of people go with. I know like Eric Oakley in the past has talked about like putting with this that don't have a lot of glide, like when he was putting Marshalls at DD, but like this is a new level of like truly like an approach disc that he's putting with.
I will say that Nathan Queen putts with the AVR X3, so it's the same exact disc. But it's funny though, because if you go watch Nathan Queen from like Iron Hill 2 years ago, he was on a feature card. He missed every putt short, and I was like, well, you're putting with the
you have a putter with some more glide, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that bags 4 zones. 2 of them are premium. One of them is like a hard zone. One's a soft, and he puts with the soft.
Wild. I mean, I have put with a zone in like wind conditions, and it doesn't feel that weird at all. So I can get that. But I thought that was quite fascinating that he's putting with that. Are we shocked about the 4 years? What do you think it's more? Thought it'd be less? Don't really care.
Is it 4 or is it 3?
I think it's 4. I think it's
4 years?
4.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, look that up. Maybe it is 3 actually.
I don't know. It's just in the middle. Like whatever. Like in Gannon's head, if he wins a bunch in the next couple of years,
it is
he'll
3.
be glad.
Oh, it's 3. 3. My fault. 3.
If he wins a bunch in the next couple of years, he's going to be glad that he didn't sign a 10-year deal so he can renegotiate a contract in 3 years. But if it's a GG and he doesn't, he's got to pivot pretty dang quick. So
yeah, I mean, the one thing that I was going to bring up later, but I'll just bring it up now, is just like I'm kind of disappointed that pros aren't releasing how much they're making, because when people in the public know that, then other pros can go out and get their bread, and then it just continues on. So in Gannon, he should come out and say what his deal is if it's a lot of money, just so people know what that bar has been set for his age. And then in 3 years, come time, hopefully people have like surpassed that, and then he can make that large jump. I think Paul McBeth knew what he was doing when he announced that at Discraft, because he wanted people to know, like, hey, if you want good players, you have to fork out good money now. And that kind of set the bar for the market. So I wonder if Gannon's kind of playing that game as well. But
I'm curious if it's just less now. Like I'm curious if like the manufacturers don't want to say it because it's less. Because again, just the it's not that we're not growing. It's just we're not. COVID was a wild time, and that's what every big deal but Paul McBeth happened. And it's hard to compare any other player to Paul in terms of like value and how they move plastic, because Paul's kind of the Tiger Woods of disc golf in that you can put Paul McBeth on an item and sell it to somebody for 100 more years and it will probably still sell.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's also throw in another name. Alden Harris also announced today that he is signing with Discmania, a 2-year deal. And when we were just talking about how Gannon likes to throw all those old Innova runs and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure Discmania was like, okay, they noticed that, and then they were like, hey, Alden, you're gonna do an in the bag, and you're gonna get all our Evolution plastic, and you're gonna get all the newest discs that we released that we've worked really hard on, and Gavin's gonna walk you through it. So, obviously, maybe not obviously, but I think obviously Alden aren't going to be throwing those exact discs that he picked in his bag. But I thought it was funny how they featured like a walkthrough of picking all those discs, and it was like all the ones like they put a method in his bag, and no offense to the method, but like I really don't think he's going to be throwing a method at all. It's like all their evolution lines and all the stuff like that. But I wonder how much Alden's going to be making. But 2-year deal. Any thoughts on this?
Can I say I was going to talk about how the fact that they like did the totally opposite with Gannon versus Alden, like they very specified that. I don't know about the 2-year deal. I think it depends. I think I see more success for Alden as a creator in the space than I do necessarily on tour. That doesn't mean he can't be a great player, but in my head, that's where his like strengths are. So I'd be curious if Discmania like cultivates that at all or not. You know, kind of an in between there.
I think Alden's one big finish in a major away from like popping off. He did win a Silver Series last year.
Yeah.
So once Eagle left, did they already have a bar stamped Horizon DD3?
Yes.
They already did?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because that one that they pulled out, it was like gold and gray. That looked cool.
I know.
I don't remember seeing those. Like, I feel like I only saw the ones with Eagle's name on them.
We'll have to see. I love Discmania deep down inside. So when they were,
I know they have the best design. I think of like any like overall disc.
Yeah. So
let me ask this question then. No, continue your thought, Tyler, and then I'll ask.
No, I was just saying. So when they were pulling stuff out, I was getting like all excited. Like, is there anything cool that we're gonna see that we possibly get our hands on? But no, it was all the evolution plastic and all that stuff.
Okay, let me ask this question. Why does Discmania have the most confusing naming scheme of any brand on planet Earth, bro? At least Innova is committed to the zesty as all get out names. But Discmania is like, here's the mutant, here's the link. Oh, wait, FD1, FD2, FD3, FD4. And then, oh, wait, here's this. Wait, DD1, DD2, DD3. What, Corey?
The evolution line has all names like Link, Splice, Mutant, because those are all evolution words, and they're all in specific plastics. The rest of them, shut the front door. The rest of them are all the two-letter, one-number naming scheme: DD3, DD1, DDX, DD. That was their original like naming scheme, and then they came out with the evolution line because of the whole Innova thing. And now
what's the line that's made by Yikun? I'm an idiot when it comes to Discmania, so that's my bad.
The active.
Yeah.
The what?
Active line. Bro, I think Yikun's plastic is so good, actually.
I think Discmania might have the best plastic.
For now, bro, have we seen
the S-line plastic is so good, man. I just can't get away from it.
Well, okay, but here's my point being, like, as someone who's never thrown Discmania, when I looked at the naming convention,
what?
Tyler's
okay, no. Let me specify.
To your house.
I think I have a DD. That's all I have. I bought it from the shop right by your house, Tyler. The only disc I've thrown from Discmania is a DD. The reason why is because their names were so confusing. I looked on their site and decided I was not interested in getting into that and just left the site. And I've done that 4 or 5 times where I'm just
what's confusing about DD?
No, nothing's confusing about DD. But the fact that the Instinct's 7502 and the FD1 is what 7402. And like we have all these like overlapping things, and then we're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna have Razor Claw 1, 2, and 3." Oh, it's just a tactic, you know, or like, oh,
I do get that being confusing because that's confused me before.
Yeah, let's have the Midnight Prowl 1 and the Midnight Prowl 2. Oh, they're just origins, bro. For the longest time, I was
special
like, what is
origins.
But how are they special?
The plastic and they're shaped a little differently.
So they're not origins.
No, they are. They're just like a signature series. Every signature or every, I don't know if signature series or whatever, like the discs are shaped differently. It's the original mold, but they do something slightly different.
Here's my question.
The player likes.
Because there's some zesty stuff in disc golf with like Innova changing molds and just like all the time, and like these small tweaks.
God, we got zesty now.
Should a company have to PDGA approve a mold that they've changed or tweaked?
Yes, they should.
Because that doesn't happen ever.
No, it doesn't happen. That's what I'm saying. If you're telling me that it is the origin, but they changed something about it so it isn't quite the origin, then it's not the origin. It's
what about the Sexton Firebird?
I also disagree with that.
Well, okay, my question
It don't bother me one bit.
Coming from knowing people that make the discs, if you do a specific thing time-wise or like moisture-wise, that's how you get like domey versus flat discs. Would you consider those being two different discs that you'd have to get PDGA approved? If it's coming off the same mold. So what if they took the signature series and they just said, okay, don't let it cool for 5 seconds, let it cool for 3 seconds and pop it out. And maybe that does something to the lip to where now we have a Kyle Klein friggin' origin.
Honestly, to answer your question, no, I don't think it. I think as long as it's the same physical mold, that's all that matters. But I do think it's hilarious.
They might be modifying something that simple to where on our end, we're like, oh, this is a different disc. But on their end, they're just like, oh, set the timer differently so that it does whatever.
Discmania is genius because they're just marketing the inconsistency that is disc golf manufacturing. Where it's like it's unable to be.
That's what I was watching Grip Block today, and they were like, "Yeah, the best part about the Midnight Prowl 2 is it's probably from the same run of things." And like that's the good naming convention. It is
different than the original origin, though. I have thrown both extensively, but
that's what I'm saying though. When you have both their active line, you have their normal stuff, and then you take all of their discs and give them specific names, 1, 2, or 3. Like that's just an abundance of stuff that it feels like it's hard to just. If you're trying to get into Discmania, it feels like it's hard to get into Discmania.
Matt, what is the difference? What's the difference between just 2 regular names for disc?
What do you mean by that?
You still got to know like the name of a disc. We just name this.
Yeah, but I'm saying
2 letters and a number. What's the difference between that and actual like naming it like the wall?
You've
committed
still got
to memorize.
You've committed to just naming it the wall. I'm saying we get halfway through this and we're like, oh, not anymore, but we'll still do it. And then we're just like, also we just like at least like I said, Innova is fine, whatever. Their names are just as zesty, but it's just Destroyer and Shrike, and they're different discs. You go into Discmania, FD. Oh wait, we also have the Instinct. Oh wait, there's the Midnight Prowl 1, the Midnight Prowl 2. Okay, Razor Claw 1, Razor Claw 2, Razor Claw 3. Like
those numbers are year numbers.
Okay.
Midnight Prowl 1 and 2 didn't come out in the same year.
Yeah, no, I understand this.
Midnight Prowl 1 would be a special plastic for this specific person. And then the Midnight Prowl 2 is the same signature person, but in a different special plastic.
I didn't know that. So the plastic is specific to that edition.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a limited run plastic for that signature.
I gotcha.
So like now I'm seeing all of the what are the tactics? The claws.
Razor Claw 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Razor Claw. I saw Razor Claw 2s recently released because of the whole Eagle thing, and they were Lux Vapor, which you can't find a tactic in that plastic except for that run. And then the Razor Claw 3 that came out last year or 2 years ago or whatever was that like. I don't know what they call it. The shimmer, like the chameleon looking stuff.
I've got a question that'll wrap all this up. You have to come up with your adjective for your Discmania Creator Series disc right now. No preparation. What is it?
Adjective?
Yeah, so like Razor Claw, Midnight Prowl. What do you got? What's the Corey edition?
Hot farts.
Nice.
I don't know if that'll sell well, Corey, but okay.
I think it will.
The Hot Farts too.
That's flying off the shelves.
No, I don't know. Probably something with glasses, because that's
they're
kind of
critted.
just my.
The first thing that hit me was luxurious grizzly, so that's what I'm going with.
I like that. I like that. Okay. Last thing I need to talk about Discmania. Alden asks for a roller disc, and he gets pointed to the DD, which is great. A whole thing of black ones. What the heck? Why would you make the flippiest roller disc in all black?
Why?
Because
they're hard to find?
disc to lose and the easiest
Yeah, you're going to roll
color
that
to
into
lose.
the woods and be
Yeah.
like, okay, let me go grab 9 more from my trunk because I'm going to lose these too.
I know. By the way, that's not even like the flippiest disc. It was like, hey, how can we like throw in another driver line into like, hey, this is your roller.
Yeah,
like,
the first week in the
obvious
bag
one
is such a funny concept to me. Like,
oh my gosh. The obvious one from Discmania is the Essence. Everyone throws that as their roller disc, so I don't know why. Matt, I am floored you don't throw any Discmania.
I don't have any reason to. I don't have any. I'm trying to get some FDs off Paul Kranz. Now they changed to MVP. He's selling some off, but I don't have any reason to. And the only thing that interested me was the DD, and I threw it a little bit, and everyone was hyped about the S-Line plastic, and it just felt like Star to me.
It's so much better.
I'm saying I might be wrong there, but I might have got a zesty one. But like,
you're about to get a package in the mail, and I'm gonna say you're gonna throw these,
and it's gonna be a knuckle sandwich.
Oh, heck no.
I'm just gonna come out of the back, just knock you out. You're missing out on the Discmania.
But what do you? Okay, what do you? He's gonna come out.
Let's finish this Discmania discussion. What should I throw then? What should I throw? If I'm too lost in the sauce, what should I throw?
MD3X.
So an S line. Well, all right. So a C line MD1, which is a 5600, such a good point and shoot disc. You should be throwing an Instinct, in my opinion.
Flippier than a T-Bird or not?
Slightly. It's not flippy, but it's like it wants to go. Like that's the other thing.
I threw an Instinct before the Strike came out.
Yeah. Instinct is a good disc. It's a little more flippier. I hate to say flippier. It does not have as much integrity as the T-Bird, I'll say.
Okay.
But it's a great disc. It feels great. I would say, I don't love the FD. I'm like the only person that doesn't love the FD. But I would say like the DD is a great hyzer flip distance disc in the woods. It's so good, and the DD1 is really good for forehand flip ups too. If you don't have a really strong forehand game. I forehanded a DD1. For me, it's too flippy, so I got to do the DD3. The DD3 is perfect hyzer flip for my forehand. But like those are like the main ones I would throw or I would stick to right now. But
okay,
let me put it back on Alden for a minute. Alden in his video said he's going to be putting with the soft links that has a bead on it. His approach, and it looks like his signature signing disc is going to be the Mutant, which is why I said I'd bring that up. His mid-range would be the MD3, and his main driver would be the Horizon DD3, which was that gray one with the bar stamp that Corey was talking about. So his approach disc is going to be a Mutant, which is a 5304. So there you go. There's the whole 5-speed that you can use for an approach disc that he said that he plans on using.
Yep.
So there. I mean, that thing is stable. If have you guys ever thrown that before?
No, but I love how it looks.
Dude, it is the most stable 5-speed disc I've ever thrown. It is a dump truck, dude. It's exactly what it's called. The Cybertruck is what they nickname it. So it's got a Anthony Bedanza. It's got a dumpy.
What he sees.
He's never coming on the podcast again.
Yeah. Let's keep going here.
That's all right.
So, anyways, all right. Let's move on to the last signing. The last signing is obviously the biggest one, and that is Nicholas Antela.
It's a Prodigy, or
no? I'm just kidding. We'll maybe mention that. Taylor will talk about that in a minute, baby. No, Eagle McMahon signing with the MVP for 5 years. We don't know how much. I thought his the little skit that they did with Simon, and then the logo at the very end where the eagle's burning, and then they show his logo on the disc. They knocked the whole thing out of the park, dude. That logo, Corey, if you did that logo, that would be your what do you call it? The guy who drew the ceiling on the church. That would be your. What is that painting
Sistine
called?
Chapel.
Yes, that would be your Sistine Chapel if you did. That logo is sick.
Well, legally I'm not allowed to talk about it, but yeah,
Okay.
that would be cool. Yeah.
But all right, what are our thoughts on this one? Surprised, not surprised, big move, dumb move.
I thought it was beautiful because of the fact that they announced like the last picture that they put on MVP's little
Instagram
The
thing.
Instagram thing.
the Instagram thing was a disc release.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so lame! It's just gonna be the Pixel."
Yeah.
But everyone was still gonna tune in because it's. I mean, and then I really did think that Simon was gonna open the box and then they were gonna like cut it to where you just see Eagle like pop like stand up into the box. I thought that would be hilarious, but they really did a great job where he's like, "Where are they?" And then they cut over. And he's like, "They're right here."
Yeah, it's so good. I made a comment in our group chat saying there's probably that one guy in the end that was like, "But what are the flight numbers on the Pixel though?" Because they never showed it.
And there was, dude.
Yeah.
There were so many people in the comments. 230,
Really?
yeah, 230 0.5. That's the flight numbers.
I think it's a 240.5 is what it
Was
was.
it 4 instead of 3? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a 4. He wanted it glidey.
Makes sense. Understandable.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I liked it because
Matt,
they definitely
I believe, Sorry about that, Matt.
No, go
I
ahead.
believe you had a theory that they weren't friends anymore.
That was me.
No, that was Tyler.
That was Tyler.
Yeah, I thought
you're
that
wrong.
I thought not Eagle. I'm sorry. I thought Simon had enough of Eagle, and I'm shocked. But
Right.
I will say this: it is very apparent they are very competitive. So we could see them push each other because if you watch Simon's video, Eagle is out throwing Simon left-handed. Like after like 2 throws, and of course Eagle can't throw right-handed, and Simon immediately picks up a disc and throws it right-handed and blasts it. So I was like, yeah, Simon is not gonna let Eagle get an inch on him. So I can't wait because it's gonna be really competitive.
Yeah,
I was
and
just saying,
160 neutron time lapses.
oh yeah, that was
What?
cool.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
he was throwing. That's what Simon was throwing. Sorry, unrelated, but
Yeah. Taylor, none of us will interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Simon's video was so pure, like it was just so like good feeling, and 2, I love that Eagle's first throw, lefty hits metal, like with the envy, he just rips it. I was like,
And then his second throw was a missed putt.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
highs
That
and
is
lows, highs and lows.
There's so many things to unpack because Eagle's signature signing disc or whatever, or signature series disc is James Conrad's disc.
Yeah, that's
Like-
some disrespect right there.
What?
Well, okay. My question is, why does everyone say that that's his disc? Clearly, the disc was there before he threw it for the.
It's his disc.
Yeah, but it's not the same, man.
It's his disc.
Bro
It's his.
threw in to go to a playoff and then diced them up in the Paul Macbeth up in a playoff. You gotta at least
The
give him
grass
a little credit.
diced up Paul on the playoff.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say James did. Come on, man, give the man a little respect.
But I'm saying like that's understandable. But the Envy is like one of their top selling discs.
I know.
But was the
That's
envy
the point.
before James Conrad?
No
I
one
do.
threw
Yes,
MVP
but it just sold a
before
lot
James
less.
Conrad.
It was still their top selling disc. It was just
and James Conrad made it their top selling disc. So it's his disc. Bro,
it was their
It's-
top selling disc before the number just went way up after.
It's still, it's still
there's
funny though.
Hey, I'm not trash talking James Conrad. I know a lot of people that play exclusively MVP bags, and they throw a lot of
Matt.
MVs, and they throw a lot of MVs, and they don't like it. It's not James Conrad. It's just the MV. It's like the Luna. Like, yes, the Luna was created for Paul Macbeth, but if they were to make that disc and it wasn't a Paul Macbeth disc, it was just a more overstable Roach, people would still be throwing it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a point to be made, but I think that stamp that they did is unreal. I think it's better than
Sick.
his
Thank
ones
you.
at Discmania, which is really sad. And the concept of rebirth, and that's the Phoenix, and
There's
dude, they put a
something
lot of
about-
thought.
There's something about Axiom discs where like the secondary color of the stamp matches the rim
Yeah.
that just makes my brain so happy. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. When I watched that, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I never even thought like, oh, I need to get one of those. And then after I watched it, I was like, I'm getting one of those. I have to.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get it. You got to put it. That's probably going to put it like right there, but I'm
You
not
have
even
a Lozado.
No, I don't. No, I am firmly like, I don't want to be involved with MVP because I believe for like beginners to like low end MA1 players, which is me, if you can't get the disc up to speed like consistently, it's not going to be a good disc for you. It's so
I don't think you know all of MVP's discs.
Yeah, bro, we gotta get you taken care of, brother.
They
Why?
have a lot of neutral and understable discs that
I
people
know.
throw like all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I threw a crave for like a year and a half, and if you don't get that up to speed, it's gonna really dump more than.
Yeah,
But
I can look at a paradox and it'll flip.
yeah, no, I know that. I mean,
Dude, the
I
uplink-
get that.
The uplink is sick from them, bro.
Uplink's awesome.
You can put that
Yeah.
on
I got a friend
hyzer and
who
watch
throws
that
an
flip
uplink really
all the
well.
way over and just rip right. No, there are some gas MVP discs, but you are right. I do believe this firmly. I ask everyone this question. The way that MVP and the gyro effect affects if you accidentally throw the disc softer is crazy compared to like you'll have discs that will just act like a Firebird, and then the second you throw at the right speed, they'll flip up and turn. You'll be like, huh? How did that
Yeah.
happen? But
Yeah, just to throw this out there, this Eagle mentioned 2 discs that he's probably going to be bagging right off the bat, or that he liked. He says he claims to like every disc he's thrown from MVP, but he said he's going to be putting probably with the Nomad. So I know they got his like face on like a couple pixels or something like that, and he's going to be putting with a Nomad. He claimed that. And then he also said that he claimed that he can throw the Dimension 60 to 70 more feet than what he was throwing with at Discmania. And if that's going to be a little picture of what we're to see when he's back and healthy, Eagle's going to be throwing 700 feet off the tee box.
Terrifying.
maybe so.
I don't know about anyone else. I was very surprised to hear him say he was going to putt with the Nomad. Just because
me
it seems
too.
so unlike a P2 to me.
I noticed he said he likes the Nomad, he likes the Pixel, he likes the Pilot. I have a strong feeling they're going to be pushing him to the Pilot.
Yeah,
The Pilot
that could happen.
such a good disc, by the way.
I picked it
gonna
up
say
today.
that
The
in
Pilot.
general. Those things are so good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're really floaty the way he likes his rainmakers too. That rainmaker he threw was just so floaty. So I was joking about this with you guys, but do you think James Conrad gets pushed a little bit out of the scene with Eagle and Simon coming in, or does he come into the building going, "Hey guys, you got to refer to me as the champ"? until you guys win a world title, you refer to me as the champ.
I feel
I
like
I can see this being the thing where like James Conrad walks in, Simon is very respectful to him, and then Eagle is like the little brother that's just like running around like poking him and stuff, and he's like, "Get away from me, kid."
Stop.
But like, how about MVP also like picking up total giants on their team? by the
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, that's insane.
Picking up all the trees.
I'm really interested to see. It's going to be fun to see in like 5 years, like the market share of like disc golf manufacturers, right? Because I have a feeling like just being someone that watched like Discraft being, I mean, I'm sorry, Corey, for the most part, a meme in like the pro scene before they signed Paul to like after they're just like a huge deal. I feel like it's going to be very similar to where like MEP was like the nerdy gyro stuff, and now it's about to be. I mean, another thing like Simon. I mean, today I have people in group chats that don't play disc golf very often, but are like casually into disc golf, or like asking me again, like, what does this disc from MVP do? Like, I'm about to order 7 of them. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Discraft before Paul Macbeth was like one of those things where like the only reason I bought it was because it was a Michigan brand. I had no clue what it was.
Wow.
It was like down the street. I mean, I'm talking, when did Paul sign? 12?
18.
18.
Oh, 18?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, he was definitely with Innova until like 17 or 18. I'm pretty sure it's
End
18.
of 2018. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you'd
I
like
thought it
watch
was a lot
Jomez
earlier.
before then, and like the Discraft, like very loud dubstep, full art buzz comes on
Yeah.
the screen. Just like, what is happening to my ears right now?
I think they should do that again as a joke. Like,
I would love
remember me? And then it's like the Kool-Aid Man. It's like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. This is my final thought on this, and then we'll move on to our next segment. But you know the scene from The Office where Dwight and Michael, they turn to each other and clap hands, and they're like, we did it, yeah. I imagine the two guys who started MVP were doing that when they
Just like,
signed Eagle.
it's
They were like, we've made it, man.
We
We did it. We took our nerdiness and we've got like the two like best players in the game. And we have a world champion that we signed first, probably on a much lower contract than what they signed Eagle and Simon for. So MVP stock is going through the roof. Imagine if we could buy some stock from them. I would be all in on that.
Plus, they have the Rookie of the Year.
yeah.
That's
I
also
think
true.
I think that'll turn out to be a bigger signing than people think. Honestly,
Yeah, no.
Paul Kranz
Kranz?
is going to go
Yeah.
crazy.
He did go for real. I like everything I've seen from him. He just looks like he's a really good player that is just waiting to pop off.
I will say I tried to get in his DMs to caddy for him at Iron Hill when he played at the Birdie Open down here. Didn't accept my offer and got shredded by Iron Hill. So that's what you get, buddy.
Tough.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's good for him. It'll be interesting to see how all that pans out as well. So that's all like the big moves that happened in the last week. But really quick, 2 minutes, Taylor, tell us what your investigation found today.
Oh yeah, so this is still up as of, well, not when we post this, it'll probably be. Actually, I think the video still would be. I was gonna say I saw it in a story, but it's also a reel on Prodigy Europe's Instagram page. If you do some slight freeze framing in a recent video they published, I think just about a event that they held, like an indoor putting event in Finland, I want to say, you can definitely see Niklas Antila in that group of people that is in that video, which the more I've thought about it, I don't think it's necessarily like 100% that means he's signing with Prodigy. Like, he could have just been like at this event because it's close to him. It's obviously he lives in Finland, so like there's probably not a lot of opportunities to do a lot of disc golf related things, but it would lead me to believe that that's very possible.
Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of people are thinking he's going to Prodigy. Prodigy is huge in Europe, but specifically in Finland because you got Vino and Seppo and all those guys. So I think we're just waiting for that to happen. And I don't know why that's. The move is interesting because it seems like Prodigy doesn't bring in any big players, but I wonder what Prodigy did to get Niklas. I wonder if they approached him or Niklas was kind of like, I'm ready to move on, and the Prodigy swooped in and picked them up. But that's something that you guys should all go take a look at. Taylor, we're going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I wonder if it has to do with I wonder how close he is to like Vino and Seppo, just because I know Seppo has a large hand in like running Prodigy Europe for the most part. I know he's pretty, higher up there since he kind of retired from the tour. I've always been a huge Seppo fan, so I think that a lot of negative connotations that people have with Prodigy is like completely different for how Prodigy Europe's run. I think it's a very well run and like a big part of kind of European disc golf. They do a lot to push the game over there, so it'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, just side comment. The Finnish disc golfers take their disc golf very seriously in the off season. Like, they're all training indoors all the time. That's all I see on their Instagram. So I wish we'd see some of our players, maybe another guy that instead of focusing on his hobbies, maybe starts focusing on playing disc golf. So not referring to Brody Smith at all, but I really enjoyed watching Brody on Twitter. I think Brody had finally had enough about a week ago, where he said, "Those of you who like have been rolling with me, you're the real ones." And I was like, Brody has officially reached that point where he's gone through it and he's finished, or at least he was a little fed up. But all right, anyways, we have a super exciting segment. I've been looking forward to this forever, and so I'm going to preface this. I found this gift for Corey, and I texted
Oh,
Taylor and Matt, and I said, guys, we have to get this for Corey. And they were like, yes, 100%. So we got it, and so we shipped it to Corey's house, and Corey was like, I'm not going to be there for the next episode. So last episode, he was supposed to open it because it was supposed to be the mystery box episode, mystery gift for Corey. But Corey, go ahead and open up your gift, buddy. This is a gift from us to you. We had to get it for you, man.
and you guys didn't wrap it?
Oh, we didn't wrap it. By the way, at this point, viewer discretion is advised. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, go ahead. Let's see this thing.
Okay.
For any audio listeners, you can hear him open it, and we'll tell you what it is.
Somebody has to describe it very intimately.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Did you get that?
Dude, good ASMR. Good ASMR there.
Oh my god. How did I still not open it? Oh,
I was about to say, it's in there, right?
there's something in there.
Oh, heck no. We got scammed.
It's a poster or a banner.
Oh, what could it be?
It's something.
The mystery intensifies.
I know.
See, I remember Corey discussing something very similar to this at one point, but I don't remember it. Nothing. Continue speaking, young man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going on the wall instantly.
We're looking at a poster of the 2022 Putter of the Year, the Birdie Marvel that we managed to swoop.
Honestly, the
for
best
Corey.
bit would be if you just hung that up in the hotel room and left it there when you left.
He's attempting to hang it in his hotel room. It's been rolled up in packaging for 3 weeks. It will certainly roll back up the second he lets it go.
That sucker.
Nice,
And
we
it
did
fell
it.
over immediately, but it's all about how we feel. So
Oh, I feel great.
But
This is going on the wall.
I saw that, and I was like trying to see if I could find another version of it, and it was like that thing was hard to find. So I was like, all right, guys,
Well,
we got to get this
we're
recorded.
still in talks that we could get a new poster made that just says 2022 Putter of the Year, and then it's got the unfinished business logo on the top. But that we're still in kind of negotiations there.
Yeah. So we thought that it just it was too good to pass up. We had to get it for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'm
So-
redoing my office, so it's definitely going in there.
It's perfect time. I love that you're wearing that like you're walking into the Olympic ceremony with like your country's flag
Yes.
on your back. Like,
It
I mean,
is
we
my
all-
country's flag.
We only bring it up every episode.
I already did.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You brought it up earlier, and I was like, oh, that's so good. So, all right.
All right, so what's the next segment?
So the next segment is going to be smooth here. So it's going to be true or false. We've done something like this before. So I'm going to read you a statement, and you tell me true or false. And it can be either really short segment or it can go really long. So we have no idea. So let's see how this pans out. So it's going to be based off of all of, majority of these are going to be based off of all the things we just talked about. Okay. So here is a statement. You tell me true or false. For statement number one, Discmania has the best team. Discmania has the best team lineup in disc golf. And right now they have Alden Harris, Gannon Burr, Kyle Klein, Silas Schultz, Gavin Babcock, and Casey White. True or false? Best team lineup in disc golf right now.
I'm saying
Let's hear it.
false.
False.
Yeah, I'm saying false just because I honestly would argue that last year Prodigy did not have the strongest team in disc golf, and you're losing a major in that trade from the player transactions. So, it's my opinion.
I'll go
would also-
false. I'll go false too, but I'm sure you guys will say why in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Matt.
I was gonna say I would also argue that Discraft is still doing very well as far as teams go.
Their depth is insane. They just
their
have
depth is
so many players.
insane. Now, I will say, on the content side of things, now that most of the Vlog Squad, or whatever you want to call this version of them, are on the same team, I think that's only helpful. I think Discmania could lean into that in a crazy way and just do themselves so many favors if they did. Whether or not they will or not successfully, I think they have the option to.
Corey, what do you think?
Earlier, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw a picture, and it said Gavin Babcock, Alden Harris, and Gannon Burr, and it was Ed and Eddie, and I laughed very hard at that. And as much as I want to say it's the best team, I think they're still young. They still need to kind of mold into where they want to be.
Yeah.
And Discmania itself went from this all-star team that was very we can win, but we can also have fun on the side. And now this is almost it's all I feel like I can't take them seriously yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think Disc Rap has to be the best team out there right now. But I will say, I don't think they got very many wins last year. But it seemed like everyone was always on the cuffs. But Dickerson didn't have a good year last year. AB didn't get it done. Aaron Gossage didn't get it done. Ezra hasn't done much. He keeps talking, or in the beginning of the year he has good starts, but hasn't done well. Paul's injured. Brody is still Brody, So no disrespect.
Put some respect on Corey Ellis's name.
Oh, Corey Ellis won a major, but that's what I'm saying. Corey Ellis is the guy that won last year. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a big year for Discraft players. I think those guys need to take a step forward. And I think the guys on Discmania, there we go. I think the guys on we lost Corey for a minute, but he came back. The guys from Discmania, at least they know how to win, or at least some of them do. So it'll be interesting. All right, question number 2. Eagle wins Worlds in the next 2 seasons. True or false?
False.
True for me.
Corey?
What's in between true and false?
He's always in the trying to...
I don't think it's going to be the next 2. I think it's going to be next 3.
So then false. Oh, that Mickey Mouse Wi-Fi.
Not this world happened.
Your hotel Wi-Fi is starting to kick in.
Trash right now.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
Like and subscribe.
All
right, what were you saying? What were you saying, Corey?
So I think it's technically false, but I don't think he's going to win this Worlds coming up. I think he is going to either win the following or 3, in the third Worlds.
Why here, I'll say this first and then maybe I'll come back to that. I think it's true. I think he does win. And honestly, I bet he wins it this year. I'm not even going to be surprised. I think his arm will be healthy. I think he's going to be really excited to play disc golf because of the new plastic. It's going to have a rejuvenated life in him to play, and it's not the same thing over and over again. I think he gets it done this year. I think he's going to figure out. He's too good of a player, dude. He played well on certain days at Worlds last year, and I think he's too good of a player not to be winning majors at this point, or at least Worlds at this point. So, yeah, I think he gets it done in the next 2, and if not this year, next year. But I think I choose him to win it this year. I would say.
Yeah, I say true, but I don't think he's going to win this year. But that Europe Worlds has Eagles' name just stamped on it.
Sure does.
Yeah, bro. This Worlds, New London, bro, and we're not thinking Isaac Robinson and Paul Macbeth for either of those. As much as I've said that I don't think Paul's making a comeback, it's tough to look at New London and not say he has the potential to make a comeback there.
No, I mean, there's a lot of cases for a lot of different people. I just think it's all about motivation at this point. I think Eagles going to have a new sense of confidence. But
do we have a segment for hot takes?
Yes, we do.
We do.
All right, I'll wait for that.
Yep, I figured that was coming. All right, question number 3.
I know who's winning Worlds this year.
Let's go. All right. So question number 3: Culver Dolan is the next big talent to sign a big contract. True or false? We'll say 6-figure plus contract.
True.
The next one?
The next big talent to sign a big, we'll say at least a 6-figure a year contract.
Because who else you got until Cole?
Gossage.
Yeah, Goose.
Gossage win Ledgestone though. I mean,
Yeah. When is Gossage popping
I mean,
off, bro?
what about AB? Does AB have a six-figure contract?
did AB win Ledgestone though?
He has 16 chances of the island. He's gonna miss every one, but I don't know if that means he's got the 6-figure contract.
No,
coming in.
I'm just saying there's people out there.
I think
No,
I
yeah,
and
I
a lot
agree,
of other
but-
people put a lot of stock into Ledgestone as like closest pro tour to a major. Like it is I feel like Ledgestone is a big deal tournament wise, just in the pecking order of tournaments. And I think that how it went down, fending off Calvin, kind of taking on that pressure and winning is huge for a young player that a company is looking at to like who can carry our brand moving forward. Him having that proven that is huge.
I think what he did, exactly what you said, Taylor, overcoming Calvin, I think that got way overlooked last year, and not as many people talked about it.
Not even
the
like
fact
holding
that-
Calvin off. Calvin's throwing in from everywhere. Like
Right.
Calvin's going X Games mode.
Right. But Cole also shredded Northwood Blacks, and guess where they're going for Champions Cup?
Yeah.
So I mean, Cole's had a whole year under his belt with DGA. I think it's 100% completely true. I think Cole is the next big talent to get a big contract. I think he's so good, and you can see on his Instagram. I mean, it could be just for show, but I believe it. Like he's training really hard in the gym. He's practicing all the time. I think he sees what Gannon and a lot of these other guys have been doing, and he says that needs to be me next. So I think he could absolutely win Champions Cup, and people aren't ready for it, but I am. I like Culver Dolan's game a lot.
Okay, fine, true.
All right, we're in agreement.
Got him. Matt, what did you say? True or false?
No, I said true.
Okay.
I agree.
If there was someone else, who would you guys pick for someone else to sign a big one?
Well, when's Isaac's contract up?
I think he already re-signed, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a
I
good
thought he
point. I
was-
don't know.
I thought he was at the 3-year that ended next year.
If he's still under contract, he's got a big one coming for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's Isaac because I think some person was on a thread and they were like, "No, Isaac's got 2 more years at Prodigy," and they're like, "What's your source?" He's arguing with
Dang.
someone else, and the other person's like, "I'm Isaac's mom."
That's right,
I'm Mrs.
yeah.
Robinson. My source is I know my own kid. So, but I could be wrong. Isaac's mom could be wrong. Who knows? But, yeah, he would be the next stop otherwise.
I think Gossage would be the next one to get a big one.
I can see Gossage.
Yeah. I think Gossage, it looks like his putt hasn't changed, though. I mean, I saw him play, and I'm
That's
like,
what I'm
bro,
saying.
Stick to
it
it.
hasn't changed.
I would agree with Gossage. I think Aaron Gossage is so cool. I want to talk about course design so badly, but little bro, the putt
right.
hasn't changed.
Last question. Here we go. Clemens will finally get that DGPT Elite Series win this year.
Yes, true.
I'm gonna say false.
Matt?
I'm gonna pull a Corey. I'm in the middle right now.
Oh my gosh, dude! Come on. I'll say false too. My big thing for false is, I think he's just too streaky. But I really don't have a reason. I just don't think he gets it done. Because I feel like he's like kind of like at the peak right now. I don't know how he gets much better than what he does. I think he has to have a phenomenal putting year. If he finds a putter he likes and he starts draining putts from everywhere, that was his big thing this season, is that he became a better putter than in years past. And that's why he kind of jumped into the top 10 a lot more often. So I don't know. I mean, I like Chris Clemens. I'm not hating on him. I just don't think he gets it done. There's too many good players now. Way too many good players.
That's what I was to say. I'm definitely not a Chris Clemens hater by any means, but there's just the top echelon of pros is so good, and then under that is so many players that like have the opportunity to pop off. It's so hard to win now.
Yeah. Matt, what you swaying?
I think I'll agree. I think I'll say false.
Oh man, Corey, why is he winning? after you're done coughing. By the way, I just want to say real quick, Corey's been sick for 2 weeks. I was sick actually right after we recorded our episode last week, so I've got a nasty cough. So we're down pretty bad right now, guys.
We're holding on by a thread.
Yeah. We got to push through this winter time, and then we'll be all right.
Yeah, and Matt's vocabulary, sick.
Yeah.
I firsthand saw Clemens play Deglo, and he's a bomber.
Yeah.
And I think I think I'm trying to think of other courses that he could do that to, but I definitely think with the extra confidence of the new signing, the new discs, he can find a putter because there's like 1,000 Discraft putters. So yeah, I definitely think he has a better chance now more than ever.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think switching sponsors can like make you look at your bag and your game in a different way, especially like you said, I mean, Clemens has been with DD for a long time. So, you know, even if there are new molds coming out that might be beneficial, I feel like it's hard. Like even myself, it's hard for me to get a new disc and be like, oh, what's this going to take the place of? Even though it might be a better disc for my game if I truly gave it the time to be, it's hard to, you know, kick out something you've been throwing for a long time.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. All right. So last segment. This will be your one statement to end the episode. Way too early hot takes. All the big people have signed. Let's just say Nicholas Antela is signing with Prodigy, which is already going to say it. What is your way too early hot take with the first tournament coming up in about the next 30-ish days? I think it's 31 days today till the first tournament.
So exciting. I'm so excited.
I know. So what's your way too early hot take? Does anyone have one they want to say right now?
This may not be the hottest, but I do have one. And I'm going to say at the end of the day, when all is said and done, Ganon to Discmania will be a bigger deal than Eagle to MVP.
Wow. And bigger in what way? How do you
Ganon's career will be more illustrious than Eagle's career.
The interesting thing about Eagle is just that he was so talented at such a young age and so blown up because of his distance and all this stuff. It's like Ganon has like surpassed that like build up. It's just like, yeah, he's good and he's young. So it's like
Ganon had such a short learning how to win phase where like Ganon's just a killer out there, like day one already. So I don't know. I think that it's like Eagle obviously is very talented and had a very consistent, like good end of last year, but we still like have questions about the injury and the surgery and how that's going to happen. And I mean, it's been a long time since Eagle won. I mean, just to put that out there, Ganon is hooping already. So
I'll say this about a reason why Ganon's already surpassed it. I think Ganon's mental game is a lot better than Eagle's. So I think Eagle's mental maturity didn't develop as fast as Ganon's. So, and that's no disrespect, but I'm just saying, based off of like Eagle's emotions on the course, the dude is just so up and down. Looks like Ganon is just fighting through it. So, Corey, you said you had one that you were going to say for the hot take. Do you remember what it is?
Yeah. I think Chris Dickerson is going to win Worlds.
I love that.
I totally can see that happening. Yeah.
I think that's a perfect course for him. He's got the woods game. He's got the big bomb game.
He had such a down year last year, though.
Cool. I'm sick for 3 weeks.
I do think not really Northwood Black, but the other one. Hasn't Chris Dickerson already won? I mean, obviously it wasn't like even a silver series or anything, but I think he's already won like an A tier at the other course, the Goliath or whatever it is, the other world's course.
Ivy Hills,
something like that.
Wait, no, I think you're tripping, Tyler.
Am I tripping?
Taylor, I think you're tripping between. We're talking about not Northwoods Black, but we're talking about
No, yeah, the Virginia courses. I think he won like an A tier up there, like in the off season at some point, like not last year, but the year before.
Like,
I could absolutely be making
London Tech, and I think the other one's called like Ivy Hills or something like that.
The golf course.
What is it? Battle for Bedford? Is that somewhere around there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he swept that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that was that one. So.
Yeah, I couldn't make it, so gave it to him.
That's understandable.
Like
It's
Chris
nice of you to
Abbott.
do that every once in a while. You know,
Yeah.
we appreciate it. I'm gonna go totally opposite, Corey. I think Simon Lizotte wins Worlds this year.
Ooh.
Okay, because listen. There is a practice round Foundation put out a couple years ago of Simon and Paul playing New London right after they put New London in, and Simon is just dicing the course up and while not caring at all.
He shredded it.
Yeah.
I saw that a couple months ago too.
Yeah, and you assume that Simon has become a better player since then, more confident, and the course nowadays should be more clean, more cleaned up, more exactly what they want. So everything points in my head with him.
Send me the link to that.
Yeah, it's a good watch. This is completely off topic, but off that, I don't think an injury has benefited someone's career ever in sports than Simon Lizotte.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It like toned him down. Oh, I'll say this also.
Have you ever watched the movie Rookie of the Year?
Oh yeah,
I have not. But
It's a baseball movie.
That's
the
the
breaks
truth.
his arm and then he could throw a fastball like 100 miles an hour.
And then
his arm broke a certain way.
And then the funniest part about that is that like he slips and falls while he's playing in like the last big game for them, and then he goes back to the original arm and he can't throw hard.
Yeah, he throws like 30 miles an hour.
He strikes out the guy throwing underhanded, and like they slow mo his mom, and his mom's like,
Yeah.
it's so awkward. Yeah, that is
Hey,
funny
Matt,
that you brought that up.
Clip Tyler's face right there.
yeah, we could use that
That
for
was
a
amazing.
few things.
I would say my early hot take is I kind of just said it a couple minutes ago, but I think Cole Allen wins Champions Cup, and he played well at Northwood Blacks, like I just said a minute ago. But I think Cole's ready for a big year, man. I think he's gonna pop off, and then I think a lot of those guys that had a good year last year. I'll say this: any of the guys that won a major last year will not win one this year. That'll be my second hot take. So Corey Ellis, Isaac Robinson, and who won USDGC? Kyle Klein.
Yeah.
Those guys will not win.
I could see that.
A major. That's not too much of a hot take necessarily. I was thinking about Gannon. I'll throw Gannon in there as well. So Klein, Gannon, Isaac, and Corey Ellis. None of those guys will win a major this year. I think that's my super spicy hot take. But I think some guys are really hungry. You could throw a bunch of names out there. James Proctor, Cole Rodolin, Calvin Heimberg, right, for starters. I think there's a lot of guys up and coming that are really hungry. I think Silas Schultz actually is going to make a big jump this year too. I think it's about time because he was coming up about the same time Kyle Klein was. And I think Silas has great form. I think he's got to get that putting down, man. I hope he figures it out. But he enjoys that social media too. So who knows?
How many weeks do we have until the first tournament?
4 or 5. 31 days.
Between now and then, we need to do a podcast where we try and figure out the parlay of the entire season.
Okay.
I like that.
So we'll all have a list. We'll go down the lane. Who do we think is going to win each tournament? And then at the end of the year, we'll tally up the points of how many we actually got right.
So it's like doing the March Madness, fill your bracket out at the beginning of the season, is what you're saying. That's going to be tough.
Yes.
That is going to be tough. We can make it happen, but that is tough.
I think just to make sure I get it right, I'll just put Calvin winning every tournament. Because I'll pick the wrong weeks when he loses. But anyone else have any other hot takes last minute that they want to throw out there? I got another hot take.
Go for it.
End it.
Corey gets rid of his putter and moves on to something else into next season.
I'll putt with a P3X.
No, I'm totally just kidding. Corey's married to the Marvel. Never letting
Does
it go.
anybody know what the 2023 putter of the year was? Did they have that?
No, I have no clue. I think it's a made up, like 2022 putter of the year was totally made up by Birdie.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then it just kind of fizzled out.
I remember the voting thing. Like I remember that happening, but I was like, I don't know if it happened this year.
I don't know who is in charge of that.
Yeah.
What
We'll
is
have to look that up.
I was gonna say, what is the 2023 putter of the year in our opinion? Can't be the Marvel.
Well,
Putters
it's.
came out in
I mean,
2023.
you got to see. Yeah, I was gonna say you have to see what comes out in 2023.
It can't be the Marvel.
It can't
We're-
because it
we're-
had to be.
we're-
Had to be a putter that came out in 23 this past
Yeah.
year.
The glitch.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
so right.
Or the Watt.
that's
Some
a good
people like
point.
the
Or the
Watt.
Watt. I will say I'm currently arguing with
but-
the guy on TikTok because he says the glitch is awful and no one should ever throw it. And I'm arguing with him about it.
no
currently.
one between the glitch and the Watt. No one like the Watt wasn't as like everyone talked about it. Kind of the
Yeah.
glitch, definitely everyone talked about the glitch.
But was that made in 22 or 23 though?
I thought it was made in 23.
Good question.
I'll look it up.
I can
real
look it up.
quick.
Who's gonna get to it first?
The glitch
Wait,
was
was
made
it
in
22?
22.
It was
22.
Wait, can I say this about this glitch thing? This guy's arguing.
Wait, when was the Marvel wasn't made in 22?
I'm gonna look that up right now too.
Oh, in the whole thing-
21. December 30th
fraudulent.
of 21.
Oh, December.
Oh
10th.
my gosh.
It's fraudulent.
Yeah.
Revoke the title.
Dude.
It's not fraudulent. It just means that it had the entire year to figure out if it was the putter of the year, and it was.
2 days it was approved 2 days earlier than what they claim.
All right, Matt, what were you gonna say?
Okay, I'm arguing with this guy because he says the glitch is the worst disc. No one should be bagging it, so on and so forth. And someone argued with him, and he responded and said in a video that Simon threw the P2 500 feet. So because he did not throw the glitch that same distance, no power throwers can throw the glitch because it will flip over. I said, bro, Simon has so many videos of him throwing it without flipping it over. He said, did he throw it 500 feet though? I said, does a disc?
I don't know.
I said, do you have to throw a disc 500 for it to be good? He said, nope. And then he replied later, but did he throw it 500 feet though? I'm like, bro.
This boy's like genuinely curious. He's like, yo, send the link. I gotta see this.
I'm like, Eagle just put out a video of him throwing the glitch, a bunch of people throwing the glitch, but unrelated. But, well, the whole thing is fraudulent then. We can't decide a 2023 part of the year. Because I don't know. Other
Send
than
the banner
glitch,
back.
send the banner back. Get it out of here. Other than the
It
glitch,
doesn't
what
even
else
say
came out?
2022 putter of the year. It just says Marvel.
The Pixel, it wasn't released, but it was in Gyro
That was
Blues
approved.
boxes
Yeah, approved.
and approved.
Sure
Cool.
was.
Might have to opt into the Pixels, fellas.
I guess the Pixel then.
See, I'm not looking at putter of the year as like something that came out that year. I'm looking at it as something that like gained traction.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the glitch. Everyone talked about the glitch.
Yeah, the
Everyone
glitch
threw
had
the
to been
glitch.
last year.
The glitch was like the big thing.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. But I mean, was everyone really talking about the Marvel though?
Yeah, they were.
No.
I mean, how many Marvels has Corey
No.
sold? How many Marvels has Corey sold us in
A
the
lot.
last? A lot.
I mean,
6 for
Yeah,
me.
but that was 2023.
I put the Marvel back in the bag.
Thanks,
That's how much
Taylor.
I like
Whoa,
it.
you have a prototype one.
That's right.
I don't even have that.
This is I got this at a Birdie. They just made this like premium plastic proto, and I got it at a tournament that Birdie was hosting because I live right near them.
Nice.
All right. We got to think about our actual putter of the year for 2023 and decide the metric.
Come prepared next week for your
Yeah, come prepared with the
2023 putter
metrics.
of the year.
All right.
I gotta say
Believe.
the Infinite Disc Alpaca, honestly.
Of course. Yeah. But all right,
Whatever.
guys. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Come back next week for another crazy episode where we give Matt something extremely inappropriate, but it's very appropriate for the show. No, I'm just kidding, Matt. I'm just kidding, buddy. No, but thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can go to foundationdisc.com to get all of your disc golf needs, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week, guys. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.